There's a quiet decision you make at the grocery store without even thinking about it. You reach for the bag of pre-shredded cheese instead of the block, the pre-cut melon instead of the whole one, the microwave rice pouch instead of the bag. Each one feels like a small, sensible choice, and each one is quietly costing you 2 to 5 times more than it should. This is not about being frugal to the point of misery. Convenience has real value. If you have limited mobility, a packed schedule, or a reason to buy the easy version, that is completely valid. But most of us are paying a convenience premium on items where the convenience saves us about 30 seconds, and the cost difference adds up to hundreds of dollars a year. This video walks through 12 grocery items that almost everyone buys in the most expensive form available, and the simple switch that saves you money on each one. All prices are approximate and vary by region and retailer. Nothing here requires more effort than you can spare on a normal week. Let us begin. Number 12, cheese. There's a bag of pre-shredded cheese in most refrigerators in America. It is convenient. You open it, you sprinkle it, you are done. But here's what most shoppers do not realize. Pre-shredded cheese typically costs 30 to 50% more per ounce than the exact same cheese sold as a block. And there is a second detail. Pre-shredded cheese is coated with anti-caking agents, usually powdered cellulose and sometimes natamycin, to keep the shreds from clumping in the bag. These additives are approved by the Food and Drug Administration and are perfectly safe. But they also mean your shredded cheese is not 100% cheese, and it often does not melt as smoothly. The switch. Buy the block. Grate what you need with a box grater. It takes about 40 seconds. You get pure cheese, it melts better, and you save 30 to 50%. A block also lasts longer in the fridge because less surface area is exposed to air. Number 11, pre-cut produce. There is a clear plastic container of pre-cut melon or pineapple or mixed vegetables in the produce section, and it is one of the biggest convenience markups in the entire store. Pre-cut produce typically costs 40 to 60% more per pound than the whole version, and it spoils faster because cutting exposes the flesh to air and bacteria. A whole pineapple might cost $3. The same pineapple, pre-cut into a container, can cost $6 or $7 for less actual fruit. You are paying a premium for someone else to do 90 seconds of cutting. The switch. Buy whole produce and cut it yourself when you get home. Cut a melon, store it in a container, and it is ready for the week. You save half, and it stays fresh longer. Number 10, rice. There is a microwave rice pouch that cooks in 90 seconds. It is genuinely convenient, but a single pouch contains about 1 cup of cooked rice and costs around $2 to $3. A 2-pound bag of the same rice costs about $2 total and makes roughly 12 cups of cooked rice. That is the difference between paying $2 for 1 serving and paying about 17 cents for 1 serving. The microwave pouch costs you roughly 5 to 7 times more per serving. The switch. Cook a pot of rice once a week. It takes about 20 minutes of mostly hands-off time. Portion it into containers. Reheat in the microwave in 90 seconds, exactly like the pouch, at a fraction of the cost. If you cook rice in chicken broth instead of water, it tastes better than any pouch. Number 9, oatmeal. There is a box of single-serve oatmeal packets in most pantries. Flavored, portioned, convenient. And those packets cost roughly 2 to 3 times more per ounce than a large canister of the same oats. Plus, they contain added sugar and sodium you did not ask for. The switch. Buy a large canister of rolled oats. A serving is half a cup. Add your own honey, cinnamon, or fruit. You control the sugar, you save 60%, and 1 canister lasts for weeks. Number 8, spices. There is a spice aisle with name-brand jars at $3 to $4 each, and right nearby, in many stores, there is either a store-brand version at half the price or a bulk bin where you scoop exactly what you need. Name-brand spices in small jars are one of the highest markups in the grocery store. The spice itself is often identical to the store brand or the bulk bin version. You are paying for the label and the jar. The switch. Buy store brand spices or use the bulk bins. Bulk bins are especially smart for spices you use rarely because you can buy a tablespoon instead of a whole jar that will lose potency before you finish it. You save 50 to 70%. Number 7, bottled water. There is a case of bottled water in many grocery carts every single week. A case might cost $4 to $6 for 24 bottles. Over a year, a household that buys a case or 2 a week spends hundreds of dollars on water. Tap water in the United States is among the most regulated and safest in the world, monitored under the Environmental Protection Agency's Safe Drinking Water Act. If you do not like the taste, a filter pitcher costs about $20 to $30, and the replacement filters cost a few dollars each. Filtered tap water costs roughly 1 cent per gallon. Bottled water costs roughly $1 or more per gallon. The switch. Buy one filter pitcher, refill a reusable bottle. You save 90% or more, and you stop carrying cases of water in from the car. I am betting almost everyone watching has bought pre-shredded cheese at least once this month. Am I right? Or are you already a block and great person? Tell me below. No judgment either way. Number 6, chicken. There is a package of pre-cut chicken tenders or thin-sliced cutlets in the meat case, and it costs 30 to 40% more per pound than buying chicken breasts or a whole chicken and cutting it yourself. The switch. Buy bone-in, skin-on chicken when it is on sale, or buy whole breasts and slice them yourself. Bone-in chicken is cheaper per pound, and the bones make excellent broth, which we will get to. If you want the convenience of pre-portioned chicken, cut a value pack into portions yourself and freeze them. Number 5, coffee. There is a single-serve coffee pod machine in millions of kitchens. It is convenient and the coffee is fine, but single-serve pods cost roughly 50 to 80 cents per cup. Ground coffee from a bag costs roughly 10 to 20 cents per cup for comparable quality. For a household that drinks 2 or 3 cups a day, that difference adds up to hundreds of dollars a year. The pods also generate a remarkable amount of plastic waste. The switch. If you love the convenience of pods, a reusable pod that you fill with your own ground coffee cuts the cost dramatically. Or brew a pod or a single cup with a simple drip or pour over. You save 50% or more. If any of this is helping you spot the convenience markups in your own cart, a quick like helps more households find this. No pressure, let us keep going. Number 4, snacks. There is a box of single-serve snack packs, the little individual bags of crackers, chips, or pretzels marketed for lunchboxes. They are convenient for portion control and grab and go, but they cost roughly 40% more per ounce than the family-size bag of the exact same snack. The switch. Buy the large bag and portion it yourself into small reusable containers or bags once a week. You get the same grab-and-go convenience at 40% less cost, and you can control the portion size. Number 3, bagged salad kits. There's a bagged salad kit with the dressing and toppings included. It is convenient, but it costs roughly 50% more than buying the components separately, and bagged greens spoil within a few days because they are pre-cut and pre-washed. The switch. Buy whole heads of lettuce or romaine and a few toppings. Wash and chop as you go. Whole heads last 1 to 2 weeks instead of 3 to 4 days, and you save about half. If you want dressing convenience, a simple homemade vinaigrette of olive oil, vinegar, salt, and pepper takes 30 seconds. Number 2, broth. There is a carton of chicken or vegetable broth in most pantries. It is genuinely useful, and we recommended keeping it on hand in a previous video. But there is a much cheaper way to have broth available. Cartons of broth cost $2 to $3 each. Bouillon cubes or paste cost a fraction of that per serving and store for a very long time. And the cheapest option of all is free. Save your vegetable scraps and chicken bones in a bag in the freezer, and when the bag is full, simmer them with water for an hour. You get rich homemade broth for essentially nothing. The switch. Keep bouillon for convenience and make broth from scraps when you can. You save 60% or more and waste less food. Number 1, beans. I saved this one for last because it is the single biggest per-serving markup on this entire list. A can of beans costs about $1 and contains roughly 3 servings. A 1-pound bag of dried beans costs about $1.50 and contains roughly 13 servings. That means canned beans cost roughly 3 to 4 times more per serving than dried. The convenience is real. Canned beans are ready instantly, but dried beans require almost no actual effort. You soak them overnight or you do a quick boil, and then they simmer while you do something else. The switch. Cook a pot of dried beans once. Portion them into containers, including the cooking liquid, and freeze them. Now you have the same instant convenience as canned, at a quarter of the cost. A single bag of dried beans that costs $1.50 replaces about 4 cans that would cost $4. Here's the principle that connects all 12 of these items. The grocery store sells 2 things. It sells food and it sells convenience. The food is where the value is. The convenience is where the markup is. Pre-shredding, pre-cutting, pre-portioning, single serving. Every one of those steps adds cost, and you are the one paying for it. This does not mean convenience is always wrong. If pre-cut vegetables are the difference between you eating vegetables and not eating them, buy the pre-cut vegetables. If a mobility issue makes grating cheese difficult, buy the shredded cheese. Convenience has genuine value, and only you can decide when it is worth it. But for most of us, on most items, the convenience saves about a minute and costs about double. And when you multiply that across a full grocery cart, 52 weeks a year, the difference is not small. It is hundreds of dollars. This video is for educational purposes. All prices are approximate and vary by region and retailer. The savings percentages are based on typical per-unit price comparisons and will vary by store and brand. Convenience foods are safe and perfectly fine to use. This is simply about knowing where the markups are so you can choose on purpose. Here is the prescription. On your next grocery trip, pick just 3 items from this list where you usually buy the convenient form. Buy the smart form instead. Just 3. See how much you save and whether the small extra effort is worth it to you. You might switch all 3. You might switch 1. Either way, you are now choosing on purpose instead of paying the markup by default. Let me run through all 12 one more time. Number 12, cheese. Number 11, pre-cut produce. Number 10, rice. Number 9, oatmeal. Number 8, spices. Number 7, bottled water. Number 6, chicken. Number 5, coffee. Number 4, snacks. Number 3, bagged salad. Number 2, broth. And number 1, beans. Which of these switches are you actually going to make? And which convenience is worth every penny to you? Tell me below. I would genuinely love to know which ones you will not give up. Take care.